This is the network service of the NTA.
Time out again with the program Conversations, and my name is Elizabeth. Now, between now and 2 weeks ago, we've been discussing something quite critical. We started by asking the very important question: how do we begin to make ends meet? And we took it down to the school curriculum. How do we inculcate the practical skills to help us earn a living? Now, last week, we're here again and we discuss how to set priorities, set our goals right, and of course pursue it until we succeed, especially when it begins to affect or reflect on our tables, livelihood. Today we're going to be looking at something very important, and that's what we were all taught in economics, which is scale of preference, alternative costs, a whole lot of others, supply, demand, and all of that. We'll get to find out those details. But then, I am not an expert here. We'll have an expert join us later. But right now, we have all the ladies in the house, and I'll let them introduce themselves. My name is Elizabeth, and I know the lady at the extreme end is...
Joy Panachi. It's good to be here this morning.
My name is Maimuna Umi Abdullah, aka Coach Didi. Good morning.
And my name is Devan Hamachion. Mom, it's good to be here.
You know, Devan, sorry, I'm not going to pick on you, but the truth is, I'm talking about lifestyle changes in view of the economic realities, and you're looking like a woman leader.
Yeah, because I am a woman leader. I am a woman leader. But the whole point is, a tampa on its own has a tendency to look rather dressy.
Yeah.
Because of the kinds of patterns and things like that. So that's one. But the truth is, you can achieve an elegant look without breaking the bank. For instance, what I have on my neck is costume jewelry. It's not like sterling silver or white gold, or it's just costume jewelry. I think it's 5,000 naira.
Oh wow!
There's somebody for whom that could be expensive. But for who I am and where I am in my life at this point, for me, it's cheap.
Okay.
So,
for her, it's cheap, but she just told me that she's been able to do a little bit of adjustment. She's wearing a tampa. A tampa is a fabric on you.
Yes, the Ankara.
Ankara, okay.
This one is not up to 10,000, Sha.
No, things have changed.
Well, as at when I bought it.
Yeah.
When I bought it, it wasn't up to 10,000
Things have
naira.
changed.
We'll get to find out more, but let's go to the street and find out from my winning team what are Nigerians doing to adjust to make sure that they fit in and still be happy. We'll be right back.
From our promo, you must have heard the statement that the lifestyle of a nation's citizen is often used as paradigm for its economy. Now, given the present state of our economy, you would agree with me that some lifestyle modifications are needed. Now, join me as I head into the streets to find out what lifestyle changes some of our nation's citizens have embarked on.
The truth is, we've always survived as Nigerians. We always find a way. But adjusting is it's a necessity. It's an everyday thing. So I think for me, the only thing I had to do was, improvise, get new ways of getting funds instead of, surviving on just one source of income. So diversifying my potentials and all of that stuff.
So many adjustments, but we can't live life without daily necessities and daily needs. So whatever we've been using before, we definitely still have to get them and use them. We definitely still have to eat food. Even if meat and fish now is more expensive, you still have to buy them. But you reduce the way you are spending. If you are going out every weekend, you cut back. I and my friends now, we don't meet up every weekend. We talk once in a while, we go out, hang out. Even if you are going out now, you know where you are going to. You plan ahead so that you'll be able to spend and you're not going to wash plates.
Wow, we have been able to cut down some of our expenses. You know how the country is now, and most of these frivolous things we're used to or we're doing before, we are no longer doing them. All we just need to do is that we just cut our coat according to the cloths. It's just wisdom. We are just using wisdom to live now. Putting one or two things together to just make sure that the basic and necessities of things that are very germane to human existence, to our whole lifestyle, like excessive, maybe clothing, extra going to cinema and all those ones are museum. We no longer visit them because so that it will not take money from our pocket more.
100,000 naira doesn't even make a sense in Nigeria. 10,000 naira cannot even feed you a day as a family person. So what is 100,000 naira? What is 150,000 naira? So you are not meeting up. You are just surviving. You are just trying to survive. Not that you are living. We don't live anymore. We are surviving.
So I and my family, we pray and tell God to help us to adjust. We adjust to many things. If I'm eating meat 3 times daily, I will adjust it to crayfish. Like me, if I buy like crayfish 200 naira, buy my tomato, mix it, everything will be fine. To move forward. Because if you do more than yourself now, you will die before your time.
I like making hair before, but now I'm cutting my hair because of the issues on ground, because of the economics. Yeah, now I have to manage all the things I have now, not to overbuy things.
Before, I used to buy clothes almost every day. I see clothes I used to buy, but now once in a year or maybe 2 times in a year, I go and do shopping and I buy clothes. So all these are due to the economic, and it has changed. Like it has changed my lifestyle very well.
The economy is such that one can, look at, and then you think of your needs. What do I need in my house? If it is food, if you are eating 3 chickens a day, you reduce it to 1. I can eat food without fish or meat. All I want is my stomach to be filled up.
Indeed, a lot of lifestyle changes there. Now let's head back into the studio where we'll find out more on how to modify some of our existing lifestyle to suit our current needs.
They say we are suffering and smiling, which is why I'm smiling, but I'm not suffering, definitely, because at the end of today, I want to take home something, how to adjust. I don't want to, how did that guy say it? People are surviving. Okay, I don't want to survive. I want to live and I want to enjoy my life. And I know it can happen if we have the right techniques of saving and making ends meet. Talking about that, we have a business coach who just joined us. I told you he'll be joining us later. Mr. Francis, I shouldn't actually be introducing you. Introduce yourself.
My name is Francis Daniel Ukumagba, a mentor, counselor, business strategist, life and world coach.
I want to find out, you've always told me that there is money on the streets of Nigeria. Are they still there? Because people are saying they can't find it.
There is more money on the streets now than ever before. The problem is that mindset is holding a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
We have damaged mindset. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are still used to what they are doing. That's why they are struggling. But if they change with the dynamics of what has changed in the environment, they'll start seeing money. Even during war, people make money.
I would like you to go deep down and teach us, because a lot of people will be waiting. Because when you talk about livelihood, it's something that we all key into. But let me get to find out. There are women in the house here, and all of us are domestic engineers. of one dimension or the other. I want to start with Joy. How have you been able to, do your changes? As an engineer, I'm sure you were able to engineer and galvanize certain things in your domestic environments to make ends meet. What are the changes you've been able to get?
Normally the people in my house used to eat 3 times a day.
3 times?
Yes, 3 times.
Don't tell me it has.
No, it has changed. It has changed because they have to just find a way around. We have to find a way around eating twice in a day. And I think most of us are using weight as well. As
oh wow!
But the kids, no. You see, let me be honest with you. There's so many things I used to do that I stopped. So many, from food to clothing to the good thing. I can't remember the last time I bought a wig. I can't afford it anymore. You see, when you're real with yourself, when you talk to yourself, like they said, survival. I'm not going to pretend. It's survival for me, because the little that I have now, I'm holding on to it, because the bottom line here is, where am I going to, the fear that I have in me is that, where am I going to get the next one? Like I said, I'm a contractor. You do jobs in Nigeria. You pay tips. Every day you're going to the office, you're giving tips. Your paper is not moving. They're not paying you. I have jobs I've done 3-4 years. How much was the dollar then? How much is the dollar now? So when you look at it, I don't want to have blood pressure. I'm not competing with anybody. I've always been a very content person. Like she said when we started, I'm more of an Ankara person. So ready-made now, I think I saw a jumpsuit from a friend I normally buy, and I asked her that I liked it, and she told me it was 150,000.
I don't understand. Sorry, now I wear for body for just one day.
No, but excuse me, you can't blame the person. She didn't buy it in Nigeria. Because before you say anything, say dollar don't rise. Even the people in the market that sell tomatoes, dollar don't rise. So you see, the thing is, like I always tell people, my clothing, the good thing about my clothing is that I can mix it up. Today I wear it with this, the other day I wear it with that. My Ankara, I'm living my life with my Ankara and I'm loving it, and it's cheap.
Yes. Okay, let's find out from Coach Didi. Coach Didi, I don't know. I'm not looking at you as a coach now. I'm looking at you as a mom, because she said something that she's been able to change, feeding habits at home. And I know you have kids at home. How do you begin to tell a child there is no more lunch, there's no more breakfast? It's not getting in
Reduce
on me.
the quantity.
To be honest, my own is not that deep. It's not that deep. Well, to be honest, you can't say things are changing. The economy is biting. But to be honest, I can't complain that much. To be honest, I can talk generally, but I cannot complain. I have always been frugal. Natural, I'm a frugal person, so I've always believed in cutting down, nothing in excess. My kids already know that. I have never believed in excess, even when there was. So it's the same thing. You cannot take too much. Always remember there are people out there who cannot even feed. So my kids, to be honest, I complain a little, and then at the same time they go like, well, it's life. Because bread today, the bread that we eat, I now carry bread and hide inside cupboard. To be honest, because before breakfast in the morning, the bread is finished at night. Thank God the boys are in school now. They are the ones that one child will carry a whole loaf of bread. Only you will eat it. But to be honest, I really can't complain as much. Of course, we keep saying, okay, everything in moderation. So perhaps if I am not really feeling the crunch as badly, I see people around me, to be honest. People around me complain morning and night. You have more people. Now you're afraid to pick up a call.
Yeah.
People are calling, sending messages, please send me money to feed her.
Numbers.
People keep sending and asking for money. My dad is in the hospital, so even if I don't feel it exactly, people around me are feeling it, so I kind of feel it too.
But you know one thing, I've always wondered, right from the time I was a small girl up until now, I've always heard my parents say, no money. My aunties, no money. And me, I grew up, I'm still telling my children, no money. Meanwhile, when we were small, eggs were, eaten like sparingly. It could be once a week, highest maybe 2 times a week. chicken was reserved for Christmas, Easter, and any other Salah period. But now chicken is eaten at real, and we are still shouting no money. Devon and Francis will answer that question, but let's quickly take a break.
A good farmer is a craftsman of the highest order. It is said, great farmer, great nation. No farmer, no nation. Yes, let's set the ball rolling to build that great Nigeria where good food is in abundance, affordable and easily accessible. The Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, an initiative of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, is aligning with the vision and aspiration of the administration of President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, and is organizing the Every Home a Garden competition. The competition is under the scope of agriculture of the Renewed Hope Initiative. For the competition, women are encouraged to immediately plant a garden at home, such that the harvest can provide adequate food on their table and enough to give their neighbor. This competition is open to only women. She must be a first-time farmer. The garden must be in her home, and it is open to women in every state of the Federation and the FCT. Interested participants should do a 30 seconds video and a picture of the garden which indicates its location to the office of the First Ladies of their various states. The winner of this competition will be announced in December 2024, and the winner of the competition goes home with 20 million naira. Women, join the train. Be part of the food revolution in Nigeria. What are you waiting for? Let's get to work. This message is by the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, an initiative of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON.
All right, it's still conversation, and we're looking at lifestyle changes in the face of the economy. And a lot of people have actually spoken, actually just two. They've spoken and lamented on their problems and issues around the home and how they are adjusting to it. But I started before the break, I said a lot of times, like all my years, and I can tell you I've lived very long on this earth, almost 80.
Almost 80?
Yes. So this long age, I've always had no money. And at a point, I queued in and started singing the song of no money. Meanwhile, I see more food than I saw as a girl. Is it that we are just discussing or making noise, or is it real? Let me start with Devon.
I think it's always in the context of what's going on at that time. For instance, everybody that was saying no money, oh, this is expensive and things like that in the 80s, with the benefit of context now, they realized that things were significantly more affordable then. For instance, and this is not really about affordability, it's also about lifestyle. I grew up in a home where we used to keep poultry, we'd keep goats. I think the only thing we didn't keep in the house, because back then, you had these government houses that had huge compounds. Yes. The only thing we didn't keep was cattle. Because at a point we had pigeons, we've had guinea fowl. So it was rare for my mother to buy meat in the market. It was just a question of chasing one chicken around and, and because we were a very small, a very tiny unit, usually a chicken would suffice. And then my parents also had this thing of, they didn't believe in, hey, you should come and eat 3 or 4 or 5 pieces of meat. That what happened? Is it your birthday? You understand? And because it was a tiny family, that one chicken sometimes will take us 2 days. Wow. Despite the fact that we could literally kill 3 chickens and be fine. My parents were not heavy on the meat thing. And then because we had chickens, we had eggs, fresh eggs, and all of this.
You sure had a garden as well?
We used to plant cassava, yams, corn in that same compound in town. Yeah. The expanse of land, now that maybe because I'm now in Abuja, the expanse of land was massive for that one house. Now in lobby quarters, those of you that are in Makodi. And my mother used to maximize that space. We would plant yam, and in between we would plant maize. So from my parents' home, I know how to be frugal, how to manage my kitchen properly. For instance, my philosophy is, no matter how hungry you think you are, don't dish too much now.
Definitely.
Eat. If you are sure that you're not satisfied, come and take a second helping, which is better than you fill up the plate, then eat half,
and waste the rest,
and then waste the other half. Nothing gets my goat more than seeing
wasted
food in the dustbin. Now, luckily, we have 3 dogs now, so any leftover food and things like that goes to them. So, but with regard to the whole context of, we've always heard that things are expensive, it's about mindset. However, it must be said that in this particular era where we are, it has been sharp and sudden. The sudden very high increase in fuel price, and then what's happening to the dollar doubled in value, or the naira rather depreciated significantly compared to the dollar, and both happened at approximately the same time. So it's affecting everything. You are seeing more clearly now than ever before what they mean when they say, when America sneezes, the whole world catches cold. So things are really bad right now. And the average person is having great difficulty coping. And I'm afraid to say that for me, I tie that to the sudden very high spike in the crime wave, particularly in Abuja. I'm not going to shy away from talking about that. These bandits are storming housing estates and lifting whole families. That has never been the case in Abuja before now. And something needs to be done about it. And I honestly believe that it has something to do with the very, very high, cost of living right now.
All right, let's go to Mr. Francis. He's a business coach here. As women, and like I always like to identify myself, domestic engineer, because I do the engineering at home to manage things right. We have all mentioned a bit of what we do to ensure that we make ends meet without crying too much. But I know that you always tell me that there is money to be made at any point in time. And it is biting right now. What can we do to ensure that we have extra income, perhaps reduce our leisure time and create more money time?
You see, I've been hearing women talk about this issue of hardship and everything, and they keep referring to food. What to change is our style and our taste. If you really look at, we're living excessively beyond our means before now. We just went crazy. If you go to a woman's wardrobe, for instance, it's like a boutique. And when they want to make up to go to those parties and all that, they spend almost 13,000 to 50,000 to do their face and hair and everything. If we can change, because what is happening now will enable people change the way they think, the way they do things. All we need to do is cut our excesses and begin to look at the opportunities. Everywhere you have a challenge, there are loads of opportunity. So what has happened now, what is happening now, the dollar exchange rate and everything is an open new opportunity for everybody to make money. The dynamics of doing business has changed. People are using their phone now as their market. And today you are talking about people having things difficult. Anything that you are selling today, you can make 1 million a month selling it. It was not possible before.
Anything you are selling?
Yes, challenge with any item. All you need to do is tap into the market size of Nigeria. Nigeria has a market that is so big, unexploited, because the mindset has been damaged. Politicians make money, the bandits and others make money. They don't do anything, so nobody wants to do anything anymore. So the mind is where the problem is. But if you look at the other flip side, if you were import dependent and were buying everything from outside the country, now the exchange rate has gone up to 1,500. Why don't you change to becoming export dependent? Let's start exporting. Do you know if we change the way we do things, you ask me just now, how can somebody make 1 million? You can make 1 million a month selling grass. You can make 1 million a month selling yam. Was it possible before? No. Let me give you an example of how you can sell yam and make 1 million a month. And you don't need to touch the yam these days. You don't need to stock the yam. Go to Zuba where they bring yam into Abuja. A tuber of yam there is 1,000. When that yam gets to Wuse market or Taco market, it becomes 2,000 to 3,000. Tell the malam that you want to help him sell. Heap the yam, 100 heaps, 50, 20, 10. Take the picture and take it to the office and give it to an IT expert. I want 10,000 people to see this yam that I'm selling. My own price is 1,500. and let 10,000 people see it online, you make 1 million this month. So what we need to do is to reorientate the mindset of our people. We were living excessively. You go to a party, you see people drinking champagne as if they are drinking Coke. You go to people are doing parties. By the time you size what they are wearing in the party, you almost faint. My dear, even during war, people make money. What is happening in Nigeria now is that we need to have somebody that to change the narrative and what people hear, what people see, and what they feel. That's why I don't like hearing the negatives. Continue to bring out the positive for people to know that, look, Nigeria still remains the investment bride of the world. We have the market size that most people don't have to take advantage of. So this is the time to start reorientating the mindset of our people. If you are used to eating tuwo, if you're used to eating tuwo in the north, and they take you to Aba to eat akpu, you say akpu is smelling. But when you get used and start eating it gradually, you start changing and start liking the akpu. What we have now is a situation. We need to change our mindset so we can start seeing how we can live better than we were living before. We were not living before. We're doing everything excessively. But now,
Francis, can I ask a question?
Yes, ask a question.
What was the correlation between women talking about food and our boutique hotel, our boutique wardrobe?
When you were talking about cutting sizes, I was hearing all of you talk about cutting things down, and all you were cutting was food.
Okay, we didn't
No,
cut down
but she
our food.
mentioned her clothing.
The
as
real
well.
thing that needs to be cut is our excesses, our lifestyle, the way we dress, the way we do things. We actually went overboard. Look at the phone people are carrying. The people who make the phone, they don't carry these phones that we are carrying. Look at our young girls and young boys. Look at the phones they are carrying. If you are carrying a phone of 1.something million naira and you are saying you should cut cost on food, you should cut your cost on your style.
But I think we are talking about the average elite, the elite Niger. We're talking about the common man. The percentage of people who carry these phones, how many percent is that? We're talking about the average Nigerian man and woman today.
Yes.
They don't have those phones. They don't even have phone.
Yes.
Those are the ones we're talking about.
You know what you mentioned about clothes, it got me. I remembered something somebody once told me she did. At a point, she needed money, and she said her clothes were expensive, so she decided to do a sellout of some of the things she had.
Mm-hmm.
She wore them herself, took pictures, and posted. It was her clothes from her closet, and people came in. She said she sold and made almost 1.7 million naira out of her clothes.
Correct.
And she was able to pay for whatever she needed to pay. I think it was school fees or so for her children. So it's important really to think outside the box. Look around us and see what you can do. For instance, I keep telling people, instead of wasting food, you say you have dogs. I don't have dogs. I really don't
give
do.
people around me who live around
No,
me who cook and eat.
exactly. If you have leftovers, there are ways you can recycle them in the morning.
Yes.
Madam, you're talking about this fashion and all that. Go and look at an average woman's wardrobe. Even look at the parties they are doing now. Look at the way they go out for parties.
No,
who is the average woman you're talking about?
No.
Who is the average woman?
I think you're missing, Francis. I think you're missing something.
Please, I want challenges.
Yeah, no, I think you're missing something.
Yes.
You see, the problem here is that you see an average woman and you think she is all that. Excuse me, all the things I'm wearing, I look expensive. But guess what? I'm not expensive.
You are expensive.
I'm not.
Look at your hair.
No,
Look at your hand.
let's take out the hair. Let's take out the hair.
But the hair is on your body.
No.
Why are you taking out the hair?
Let me. If you heard me when I said I had not bought wigs.
Yeah,
It's an old one. That's
It's an
what she
old
said,
one,
take it away.
and it was cheap. When I mean cheap, it was cheap.
Nigerian women are not cheap.
No. You see,
Not all.
The thing I do is that luckily I come from a privileged home. That I would say any day, and I thank God for it. So I was taught. You see, when you are born into something, you don't wake up one day, I want to be like this person. Yeah. I'm competing. No, I don't do it. I know my size. I don't look at a slim person and I say I want to wear the outfit that person is wearing. Oh, I love the jewelry. One thing I'm good at is admiring people. Oh, I love that. It looks good on you, and I walk away. I was big ups on buying gold. I've stopped. I have friends who are dropping in diamonds. I see them and I say, beautiful. But guess what I found? I now make the things I wear look beautiful on me. And when they see me with my banda, they are loving it. So if anybody, all these things I'm wearing, they're not gold. But when people see me, they think it's expensive. So I always tell people.
How many people even know the gold?
That's it.
Very few people know
because
what gold
one thing
is.
I notice is that Copy has taken over everything.
Yes.
And the ones that have the copy, it looks nicer on them than the ones that are using the originals.
Because the originals are not big enough. They don't show off as good as the costume.
So you see, the thing here is that just look for what you're comfortable with, what you can afford.
Anyway, madam.
Stop doing what other people are doing because you want to belong.
Yes, the area I was going to
on
cutting our coat to according to size is not in food. There are a lot of other excesses that we need to look at. So we need to start living normal and better.
Recently, I got talking with a friend, and the daughter is getting married. She actually said she wanted a Ashwebi, around. And I said, I'm happy. What are we buying? Are we buying lace? Are we buying Hollandaise? Are we buying this? She said, no. We're just going to do a pink color for up and down. And then we buy a damask for the head. I looked at her and I said, why are you doing this? I know she can afford, anything she wanted us to do. I also know her friends can afford. Maybe I can't or I can, but I know that most of her friends can.
You can.
So she said, no, times are hard. I don't want people to spend money unnecessarily.
If I tell them to wear color,
so they're just going to do pink for me from their wardrobe.
Yes.
And they buy a little damask on the head.
In fact, they should hear this because if we can control that, we'll reduce a lot of the pressure that people are going
money on. Last Christmas, I had more than 8 people doing one thing or the other, giving me Ashwebi to wear. And they didn't come cheap.
Ashwebi is a business.
And I told myself I didn't want
darling,
to.
let me chip into that. And thank you. You were talking about me.
It's her daughter,
which is a good thing. The thing here is, I have this big auntie, and she likes me. I think she thinks I have money, but she doesn't know. I don't. It doesn't work for me like that. And she called me, your girl is getting married and all that. I said, auntie, congratulations and all that. And she said, I'm going to put you in a WhatsApp group. I'm sick of all those WhatsApp groups because I have too many. You're paying for this, you're paying for that. But well, if you're somebody that is big up on friends, that's what happens to you. So she now said Ashwebi is coming and they will put everything on the chat. And the next thing, I woke up one morning and I saw 85,000. The first thing I said was, wow. I didn't say anything. So there was somebody there that is on that chat who is a bit, and she just went, well, I don't know what's happening in Nigeria. Why are you people making Ashwebi 85,000? I thought she didn't have to say anything. Then, guess the typical Nigeria, the thing caught fire. They were breaking tables and all that. And somebody said, yeah, if you can't afford it, you don't have to say it. The bottom line is that you don't have to pay, which I agree with. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching 85,000. The lady that normally sews my outfit used to sew for 60,000. I just chatted her up and she told me 150. And I'm like, if I'm buying an Ashwebi for 85,000, I'm sewing for 150. How much do you have left? Nothing.
You're sewing for 150.
Yes, that's
so everything.
How will you be sewing something for 150? What are they going to do to you?
I don't understand.
150 is even.
Is it embroidery?
No. 150 is even cheap.
Oh my God.
I'm being honest with you. 150
Please bring it also for you.
Please don't make my fashion designer begin to get ideas.
No.
But you
I wasn't happy when I paid for this.
No, but let me tell you.
How much do you pay for that?
Anybody who
You
does
see where you have to
that.
cut.
No,
Those are the places where you have to cut in
You see,
Nigeria.
you don't get it. You see, let me tell you. I know they pretend. I have my guy that is sewing for me for 10,000. But you see, sometimes when we go to this kind of people, unfortunately, your body structure is a problem. So most people can't get that body structure. For Devon, there are a lot of people who can get that body structure. For Coach Didi, they can get it. But for people like me, there's a problem. But you know what I told her? There's no fight. That person that cannot get it, I've given him sample, he go copy. Whether he gets it or he doesn't get it, I'm going to wear it. When he keeps doing over and over again, it's better for me to pay that cheap amount. 150, excuse me, I'm going to wear it for only 4 hours.
I think that people should go and learn a bit of these things.
Yes.
Even if it's just to cut buba and yero for yourself, you save a lot of time.
I agree.
Your makeup, learn to do your
Yeah,
makeup, so
I
you
agree.
don't need to
Like
pay
we said
for
last
it.
week.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I need to quickly explain. At a point, he was talking and I started laughing. You said something about Akbu and Tuwon Shinkafa and all this. Now, I come from Benue State. If it is not pounded yam, it is not food.
Yes.
Especially among Tiv
His
people.
mindset.
Now, I remember when we were in school in the university. So you're always broke in university. You're always broke.
So you
never have money. So, there was the regular pounded yam joint and everything. And then I guess one other lady had this idea of setting up an Akpu joint, you know.
Go sell.
And what students started, because in Tivland, it's almost like wearing a badge of poverty when you are seen eating Akpu. It's like you're done. You understand? So here we were in school, and people would go to the Akpu woman's hut as discreetly as possible, then try to emerge through the pounded yam place so that they wouldn't be seen emerging from the Akpu joint, and then they'll talk to you and their breath will just make the announcement. Because Akpu just has this thing, it's made of cassava, I think slightly fermented.
Yes.
So it just, and you're like,
I think it's the old type.
And it's
the
really
ones they are
sad,
doing now.
it's sad because, like I said, you're a student, you're in university, you need to eat. There's nothing wrong with Akpu, you understand? But because over time, there's this thing of pounded yam is better than Akpu and something. So it became like almost a status symbol that you are eating pounded yam, you are not eating Akpu. So that was why when
That's why
I started laughing.
it depends. You see, like I'm an Eforio person. I grew up in the north and I grew up in Lagos. I like Eforio. I like Eforio with locust beans.
Yeah.
The one that, I'm not one of those people who use cutlery. I use
my hands to.
I use my hands to eat. And somebody complained once and said, most of the time when you did chop, you did smell or something like that. So you know what I did? I now started I always tell people, when you're washing your hand, put lemon.
Yes.
Instead of getting wipes.
Yes.
Because wipes are expensive. Because that's what I told a friend of mine. Because we normally use the Zingy wipes. And I looked at it, the Zingy wipes, one now is £3. So one day I calculated, I said, if I eat all these times and I'm using the Zingy, it'd be very difficult. What did I do? I put lemon, I put water, I wash my hands.
Now, even when you're done eating, you can take your water with lemon. It helps to also give you
I don't know what I use. What I use is breath mints, chewing gum.
Mr. Francis, somebody is asking you a question here. He said, I'm a civil servant and my salary is not enough. Mr. Francis, please, can you tell me what else I can do to augment because my family is suffering?
So many things. You see, what it needs to start with, they have this disposition that I'm a civil servant, I'm not supposed to do business and all that. But you can use people who are talented. Today, what the biggest problem we have in Nigeria is that those who are talented are looking for money. Those who have money don't know what to do with their monies. And those in power, they don't have time. All you need to do today in today's environment is look around you. There are people who have shops today, they are not selling because they don't know that selling has moved online. There are people today who are talented who don't have people that they can do business with. So what that civil servant needs to do to augment is making money is just look for 3 or 4 people who have something to sell. Tell them I will help you sell. Go to somebody that is an IT person. Tell the IT person I'm employing you to sell for me. Whatever you are selling, put it online and put your phone number there and put the price. Make sure the price is good enough, better than what you have in the market. If 10,000 people can see it online, you have made 1 million naira. Anything you want to sell in Nigeria today, you can make 1 million naira selling it. And the real place to put it is online. The internet is the business language of today's business. That's why I'm saying today that we're going to talk about this. When I was coming, I say, let's enlighten Nigerians to know that looking for money to set up a business is not the norm anymore. Anybody that is staying at home today jobless, come. I will show you can start a business today without 1 naira. I can make you a landlord without 1 naira in your pocket. The mind must change. And what government needs to invest in today is to reorientate the mindset of our people, to make them know that there is change. The environment people feel that they don't need to look for, they don't have jobs because they don't have contact, they don't have money to start business. They sit at home. And that's why the poverty and everything, unemployment is increasing every day. Do you know you can employ somebody and you make money? Just look at the unemployment market today. Is that not money in the streets of Nigeria? Can I show you how I can employ somebody and I will make over 1 million naira today?
Sure.
Okay. If you put a notice out there today that you want to employ anybody, they will come in their numbers.
Yes.
I want to employ an IT expert, somebody that knows how to sell online. His salary is 300,000, for example, and I put the person in my office, that all you'll be doing in this office is to put people's businesses online. Your salary is 300,000. If I turn around and announce to the public that, look, anybody that wants to make his business go out to 10,000 people, they should come to my office. I charge only 50,000 naira. How many people do you think will come with the 10,000 people seeing it online? If only 100 come out of the 10,000 and they pay 50,000 naira each, I've made 5 million naira.
How many people have 10,000 naira?
What are you talking about? Nigeria, do you know what Nigerian population is? I just told you about selling yam, you make 1 million naira.
So
you can't sell yam.
Are you saying you're making 1 million every month?
Me?
Yeah.
I make much more than that. And I'm going to show you.
You did every day. You said every day.
He said every month.
Okay,
every month. Okay. If you want to sell it every day, you can sell it. You can do it. I just told you can make 4 million employing an IT expert. Are there not people out there to employ? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me tell you. Even a barber can make over 300,000 a month, but they are earning 30,000 now because the mindset is skewed. A caterer came to my office. He said, I hear you teach people how to increase monies that they make. And I told the caterer, how much do you make now a month? He says he makes 100,000 naira. Because he's confining herself to people she knows. Yeah. I said, okay, you need only 5 customers now. You'll be making 1 million naira a month. He said, how? The caterer does not have access to people. I said, go to your church administrator or mosque administrator. Tell the church administrator that anybody that comes to do wedding or marriage or burial, refer them to me. I cook very well. Put your flyer on the table of the church administrator. That any money I make from what I'm doing, I will give you 20%. How many people do you think that church administrator will send to her?
Everybody.
To her? Okay, I want to tell you another thing now. Because anywhere I go, I see people and I just show them how they can make money. I went to a spa. They were massaging me. The young lady was earning just 50,000 a month when I asked her. I said, do you know you can make 1 million doing this same thing that you are doing? If we can change the way you think. He said, how? I said, you need only 5 customers. 3 to 5 customers. He said, how? I said, go to the National Hospital. Ask to see the matron. Tell the matron, any rich man or woman that has stroke, I will manage them in their houses. I charge 100,000 naira a month. Anybody you send to me, I will give you 20% of the money. How many people do you think the matron will send to her? If the matron send only 5 people to her, she has made 500,000. You will give the matron 100,000. Supposing she has 3 matrons in 3 hospitals, will she not make 1 million naira? Sure. I dare anybody today that is complaining that there's no money in Nigeria. It's a lie.
There's no money.
Money is on the street. Challenge me. I'm telling you now. Challenge with any business you want to do. I will show you how you can make over 1 million naira a month, including selling grass.
Well, somebody says he's a comedian and he wants people to know him. How should he go about it? His name is Godwin. Let me just take the next one again. I think they're almost together. The other person says,
please throw them in. I want to answer questions.
Which business is profitable for a student to do that he's in school?
It's online.
Okay.
It's online. Every student today can actually pay their own school fees. Okay. Because the phone, and Nigerians are using phone to do selfie and all that. This phone is the market today. There is nothing you put here and really advertise properly that you will not make 1 million naira a month.
If I may comment, sorry.
Yes.
While I appreciate everything he's saying, and it is very, very true.
Yeah, it is.
The present and the future is digital. However, what I have found is, for some bizarre reason, the typical employed Nigerian has a stupid sense of entitlement that doesn't work.
They don't even want to work.
Let me explain. First of all, they don't want to work.
Yes.
They want to be paid for doing
nothing.
I'm sorry. There's where I'm going with this. That place where you are, dare to do things properly. Differently. Just dare to start doing things differently. Even if you're in the public sector, even if you're a civil servant, before God and man, if you have a boss that fears God, one day he will recommend you for a job outside that place where you can actually earn money that is worth the kind of attitude you have to work. Mm-hmm. Now, let me give a very good example. Was it sometime late last year, I needed to go for an engagement somewhere. And I got on the phone to a cameraman. I know how to do camera work, but I cannot be doing MC and camera at the same time. So I needed a camera person to come and film me and take photographs and everything. We agreed on everything. We agreed on the price and so on and so forth. We agreed on where we would meet, how I would pick him up, and all of this. Everything done, dusted. On the day this person was to show up, not only did he not show up, till today, this person did not send me a text to say, I am very sorry, this thing happened, so I couldn't show up. Can I link you up with my friend or my colleague that can stand in my place? Nothing. Silence. Death. I called, his number was not going through that morning, so I said, okay, maybe he lives in one of these places where they have power challenges, his phone is dead, he'll probably reach me. That was it. Nothing happened. Now, take your conventional, I know cameramen that have been working for 10 years that will give you shaky shots.
I know.
You go out with them into the streets and they'll come back with videos that are like this. There's no audio. The pictures are blurred. Why have you been carrying a camera and working as a cameraman for 10 years? Practically every day you are holding, and you have not improved. But you want to be paid for that. Now, if you keep 50 cameramen that have that stupid approach to their work, and you bring out just one that is willing to show up on time, give you steady videos with good audio that are not blurry, before God and man, the customer base that guy will have, it will look as if he's the only customer here, he's the only camera person here in Abuja. So outside of even doing the innovative things, the old things that you are already doing, how well are you doing them? As a civil servant, you're meant to be at the workplace. Let's assume you're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock. You show up 9:45. Your boss is like, what happened now? And you flare up. You get angry. You get worked up. You are vibrating.
No, the one that is even very annoying.
If you are given a query,
they come in like 11 o'clock. Somebody is waiting. This is my personal experience. I went to a public place. I got there by 10. The person wasn't there. I hovered around until about almost 11. She came in. I followed her to the office. She said, Madam, excuse me, I want to pray.
She has to pray.
I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm in a hurry, and you're telling me that you needed to pray first.
Yeah.
Didn't you pray at home?
That's what
the fact that, and I keep asking, was Sabbath meant for man or man for Sabbath? I really don't know. Somebody will still answer that question, because you're working in a secular environment, and God, they say it lives in you. You can speak to him even as you're driving.
Correct.
You can speak to him as you're walking in. You don't need to disturb your work because you need to pray, and you're already late. That kind of prayer, I don't think God will
And
answer.
meanwhile, if you now find a boss that tries to, no, this is, you can't do this. You cannot be coming in a cool 1 hour, 30 minutes late every day, regardless of you're supposed to show up at 8 o'clock. She's wicked.
When I was coming,
she doesn't want my progress.
When I was,
what kind of rubbish? You with that kind of attitude and mentality, you will not progress. Even if you have your own thing, if you have your own gig, and you already have this dirty attitude, you won't be able to make your own thing work.
You know what Francis said about looking at your environment and trying to. I made money during COVID. When COVID was finishing, I was sad. Oh yes.
Let's say during lockdown.
Let me say the lockdown. Let me tell you why.
I like the way the direction of the discussion is going now.
You know, and you know what happened? Because I love to dress. So you know what I did? I went to look for all those masks that had all those beautiful colors, you know, and all that. So when I do it, because I'm a picture person, so I'll put it on my status. Oh, you have to get this, you have to get that. With all those shields, I had colors and all. So anytime if I'm wearing orange, I wear orange. If I'm wearing purple, and guess what? Even the guys
were asking for
it. Then they now started giving it as gifts for weddings, different things, you know. And
Did we even use it for a show too?
I said, no, we did. There was this wedding. When they called me, I was in Lagos, and they said, we need 100. I said, 100? But you see, there were some little girls who wanted to buy off me. And they said, oh, auntie, only 1,000. I'm making profit only 1,000. And I looked at them. I said, with a million step, you start with one step. There's nothing wrong with 1,000. If you have 10 1,000s, you make 10,000. It goes a long way. Then I used to use it to buy my fuel. There were so many things I was doing, and I was enjoying it From the money I was making, I was buying more. After a while, then I say, Madam, you know what? Let us give you everything. And I made more money. I was in Lagos. People were asking for it. I sent it on through what do you call this? GIG and the courier services and everything. The mindset Nigerians have is that they want to make millions.
Yes.
All right. Before you continue, I know that there are so many people who are asking me for Mr. Francis' contact that they want to make money. I'll just give everybody at the same time. I don't want to read them one by one because there's no time. At the end of the program, I will be sending out his number with your permission, right?
Yeah, free.
So I'll be sending his contact to you. And so many messages here. Let me see the ones I can take. Good morning. Please, I want to talk to Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, how can I make money by selling dogs? Anyway,
dogs. By selling dogs. Okay.
Dogs.
Perhaps
when you talk with them one-on-one, you get to explain these things. But I want to take our final...
I'll give you the principles of making money generally. Because when I was coming here today, what was in my mind is I will have the opportunity to talk to Nigerians about how to look up and not look down. We're in a situation, yes, things are tough. Exchange rate is going up, price of food and everything has gone up. What you need to do is to adjust and look up and begin to look at the new opportunities of making money and how you can use the circumstances to start making money. Today, we have a lot of people unemployed on the streets, talented people, and that's what we always have in the world. All you need to do is from looking for a job, begin to provide job. You can employ somebody on the street today and make money. Because the talented people on the street, what they are looking for is give me money. And the mentality of a lot of people today is give me, give me, give me. Change that disposition of giving from taking to giving, you will start making money. If you put an announcement today that you want to employ anybody, that is money to be made. And I can give you every example. A doctor, lawyer, nurse, MC. My senior brother died. We wanted to do burial. One person that was not doing anything was the one that coordinated everything. He has the phone number of MC, he has phone number of caterers, he has phone number of everything. And what he put online was pictures of events that he has done. And he put those pictures online, and we saw the pictures and liked it and called her. When we called her, you won't believe it. When you asked for this, everything that was happening in that burial, he had a contact. He brought all of them together, charged each of them 20% of what they were going to pay them. And he charged us 20% of what we were paying them. It was nothing.
So she was a middleman.
He didn't add any value. So middleman today, you can use, in fact, you can use, I can use it to make 1 million naira this month.
I think
you can use me. You can also use me to make money. So what I'm trying to show to the public today is that there's unemployment is a big problem.
Yeah.
Employing people is a solution to unemployment.
All right, Mr. Francis, thank you so much. The time is up, really. It's really, really up. And there are lots of messages I don't even know where to start from. And I think a lot of them are directed to you.
So I want to challenge them.
Before you leave, you're going to sit down to answer all these questions they're asking me. No problem. All right, so it's been a wonderful time. But just before we go, one word from Devon.
Well, just change your mindset.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Francis, we will talk after the...
I'm available.
For me, be a service provider.
All right, that's it. Be
For
a
me,
service provider.
I want to beg government to do something about reorientating the mindset of Nigerians. Nigeria is the investment bride of the world. We have everything in Nigeria. All we need to do is to change the way people think and things will start changing. There is no poverty in Nigeria and there's no unemployment. All we need to do is change the way people think and you start seeing results in Nigeria. And we look forward to working with people who are ready to change.
True. You know, I met somebody just recently who was sick for 4 years, and when he recovered, I asked him, were you scared? He said, for the most of the time, in fact, all the time, one thing that kept him going was his mindset.
Yes.
He was never scared, and he never thought he would die, and he didn't die. So, and whenever you wake up, our people say it's your morning. Yeah. KFC started at 75,
yes,
and his name is still there till now. So don't ever give up, because your mindset is the biggest trick on you. If it's positive, then you touch things positively. Correct. We'll see you again next week. My name again is Liz, and on behalf of everybody here, it's bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye.